Hello and welcome back to Supremacy 1914, where in this series we are Spain. Last episode we started to move our troops towards Morocco, and as you guys can see, we have actually got to the point of declaring war with them. Our ally in the form of West Algeria has started to push in as well, and we seem to be making some decent progress. We had a fairly chunky army here take out the tip of Morocco here, closest to our motherland, and now we have got them heading in all sorts of directions. We've got 25 troops heading directly for this province here, another 38 heading here, and we have got 30 units that are going to be making contact with their capital any second now. Well, maybe not any second, but in 41 minutes, any second now. And from there, I think we're going to start pushing as many troops as possible down here. Our ally in West Algeria are pushing into this province here, into Tantan. That's a cool name. However, it seems like they don't know what on earth they're doing here, because they have got literally one unit at the moment heading into this province, which is being defended by an armoured car. That being said, our ally is fairly new. They're only a class 2 warrant officer, so I'll let it slide. I'll send them a message, try to educate them a little bit, but if they continue to just send troops into suicide missions like this, and they're just going to have troops sat here, literally doing nothing, then I'm going to have no choice but to take them over, because at the end of the day, this is war, and if they're not pulling their weight, then I'm going to have to commandeer their land, because they're obviously not knowing what they're doing. And part of the learning process in Supremacy 1914 is getting taken over by others, even your allies, because the fact of the matter is that even though we're allies, we're not friends. We're only here to benefit from each other. And so I would like to think I'm pulling my weight here. I mean, we are going to be pushing into Morocco over the next few hours, and then after that, we're probably going to be heading for these small provinces here. If our ally West Algeria does just sit here twiddling their thumbs, throwing single units into armoured guard brigades, then we'll have to consider perhaps taking them over. I actually got an interesting message from North Chad earlier today, basically saying that they liked what I was doing. They said they were surrounded by some groups and they might need me as a mediator, and that comes from my newspaper publication that I sent out 2 days ago, I believe. Here we go, where I basically said that I would be happy to be the mediator between any discussions with nations that have disputes that don't want to resort to war. I think we're going to send out another message now, considering our new day has just started. Here we go. We are giving the impression to all of the people on this map that we're here as mediators, as negotiators. Maybe what Switzerland was and is in many ways a very neutral state. That being said, we are going to be absolutely slaughtering a load of provinces here, so I don't really know what I'm talking about, but all I'm trying to say is that I want us to be seen as the big power on this map, and if any smaller nations eventually have any disputes, they come to us as the mediators. Maybe more like the United Nations, if the United Nations had a few more guns and a bit more positivity towards war, considering what we're going to be doing over the next few days. I also started the development of an observation balloon because, like I've said before, having a few in the Mediterranean here will really give us an insight into what's happening in this area. And to be honest with you, once we start putting some balloons here, we could almost start charging a fee for releasing intel to other nations. I'll check in with you guys once we have actually taken over a bit more of Morocco, but for the time being, I will see you very soon. Okay, here we are a few hours later, guys. Some weird things are happening around the place, I'll be honest with you. Firstly, if I direct your eyes to what our ally is doing here, I literally have no idea. They're embarking on troop transport ships, heading into the Mediterranean. To go where? I have absolutely no idea. Are they thinking they can go? Do you guys think that they are just so new to this game? They think they can just come and take my entire unguarded country? Not knowing that by the morning, if I see another arrow heading straight for my land, all of these troops are just going to go straight back to defend. And considering we've got a health of 299 versus 175, they literally have nothing on us. And this is the other thing, right, guys? Even if they do declare war on us eventually, we'll tackle them from the north here if this unit comes in. This small unit here will be dealt with by our infantry corps up here. This massive army we've got here will heavily defend. This is the other thing as well I don't understand, guys, right? We agreed that I would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces, and then they were going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. We were going to split it 50-50. Why on earth they're sending troops in here, I have absolutely no idea. Our troops are arriving in 49 minutes, and they still have 2.5 hours to go. So I am hoping by the time we get there, we will hopefully be able to take this land before they do, because I have absolutely no idea what they are playing at. I have started to get more and more messages from them, basically being impatient, kind of telling me that they want me to attack more countries, go for more provinces and stuff like that. I've been in more comms with North Chad since we last tuned in as well. They want to join our coalition. There is space for them to join the coalition right now, which is awesome. However, he doesn't want to yet. His justification is that he has so many surrounding countries right now. They might see it as a bit of a threat, in the sense that North Chad is basically alliancing with another country halfway across the map, and therefore he's going to have no loyalties to these countries, which kind of makes sense. However, he's made it very clear, as long as he's not bluffing, that he is pretty eager and keen to join our coalition, which is awesome considering he is, I believe, a general of some sort. Yeah, there we go. He's a major general. So he's high ranking, he knows what he's doing, and he would be a wonderful ally for sure. So I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later on. Okay guys, something really strange is happening right now. I basically had a load of troops heading for the southern provinces here of Morocco because our ally didn't seem to be interested in them. However, last minute they started jumping to them, and I thought to myself, okay, let's take a little bit of a zoom out here and see what's actually happening. And I came to realize something pretty scary. Mauritania is getting very big, and they are edging closer and closer to our borders here. And so I thought to myself, if I take this province here and Mauritania declares war on us, they're going to take this very quickly, and it's basically been a loss for us. So instead, I've decided to redirect troops all the way to East Algeria here. I thought to myself, if we can take East Algeria and then Tunisia, maybe we can then move up to these smaller nations here and actually build a bit of a stronghold in the north. I was going to do this with my ally here, West Algeria. However, through a range of communications, they have made it very clear that they are wanting really nothing but gain for themselves. They're talking pretty selfishly, especially in our private chat. And considering they're so new to the game, I would have thought they would be wanting to take kind of advice from me and stuff, but they seem pretty arrogant and impatient. Like, they just don't stop complaining about how our coalition is the smallest than the others and everything else like that, when the reality is that we're playing the long game right now. And so we then made an agreement, or I thought we had, that they were going to take the southern provinces and I was going to take the northern ones. But as we can see here, they have got quite a few troops heading straight into the areas that we were going to take. I'm not complaining too much about this because this actually gives me a justification and reason to actually start attacking them at some point. We're going to take the capital city and maybe start progressing towards Tunisia. However, I'm just going to sit back and relax. I'm going to let our ally, for the time being, spend most of their troops fighting this war, and if they continue to be greedy and not listen to me, considering I'm firstly the leader of the coalition and secondly the most experienced out of the two of us, if they continue to be naive and not want to take on my advice, then I'll tell you what guys, we're going to take them over in a massive but justified backstab. I'm also starting to get mixed signals from North Chad here because they sent me a message earlier where they said, I'm a bit rusty, how do you see if someone hasn't been active in the game? How on earth can you be rusty when you are literally a major general? I find that so hard to believe, especially considering they joined in 2022. So they've been around for only a few years. There hasn't been enough time to elapse for them to get to the rank of major general and then log out for so long they just completely forget how the game works. I personally feel like that was a bit of a sneaky move from them to try and justify them getting me to share my map with them. No idea why. I have no idea if they're conspiring with some of the nations around them. However, I think for the time being, guys, our priority is to take these northern provinces of East Algeria, and then we'll see what our ally does here. If they do lose a significant number of troops in this war that they are blindly jumping into, then I might go in and take out their army. We've also got ourselves our first observation balloon that we are sending to the borders with Mauritania, purely because I am starting to get a little bit freaked out about how close they're getting, like I said. I'm going to check in with you guys a little bit later on. Okay guys, a lot has happened since I last tuned in with you. We are in full proper war now. with East Algeria. We have got a hell of a lot of troops going straight for their capital. And after that, overnight, we're going to start heading into this province here. The rest of our troops are going to congregate here, and we will see what position we're in the morning. Despite me requesting a pretty fair settlement of splitting this country 50-50 with our ally West Algeria, they've decided to cut me off immediately up here in the north, and I presume they're going to take all of these provinces. I'm not really being too fussed because, like I said, they're just going to waste all of their troops, and that's going to allow me to hopefully swoop in maybe tomorrow or the day after to take all of this land that they've left completely open. I wouldn't normally do this, especially if they were a good person. They are just being so greedy at the moment. I feel like I have to teach them a lesson. Talking about what a good person is, if I zoom out a little bit, guys, you might come to realize our map has expanded a little bit. And that is because the wonderful nation of North Chad have officially joined us here. They are expanding by the second by the looks of it. The only downside being that they are surrounded by countries left, right and center. They've got some pretty powerful coalitions near to them, so hopefully they can hold off any kinds of attacks. They've actually got into the spirit of commenting in the newspaper as well, which is absolutely amazing. This comes after my message I sent here earlier, basically saying that we're not here to win, we're not here to destroy, because there are no true winners in war. I thought I'd add a bit of philosophy into this. North Chad chimed in here basically saying they also vow to attack only in self-defense unless a leader abandons their people and leaves them vulnerable and starving, which is a very, very clever way of basically saying any NPC nations like Italy or Greece that don't have a leader, well, we're going to take you on, basically. 3 armoured cars currently being produced, 1 cavalry unit, and we've got a balloon being produced some point soon. This balloon is continuing to head down here to scout out on Mauritania and our potential future enemy. I do see some of you screaming at the screen saying, build more workshops, build more armoured cars. However, I want to pace ourselves. There's no point building 1,000,001 workshops, spending all of our money on armoured cars, if after they are constructed we have no resources to actually continue building them. I'd rather save up, gradually start chucking them out, and we will see where that leads us. Oh, and we've got another message. Oh, look at this, guys. We're actually making some real friends in this game for once. We've got ourselves a Korean friend here, although their sleep schedule is completely messed up apparently. But that might work pretty well, because obviously I'm London-based, these guys are based in Asia, so hopefully that means one of us will be awake at any one point, so our coalition will be nicely propped up in the long run. But anyways, guys, this is where we are. I'm going to leave you to get on with your day now, because we've covered quite a bit in this video, and hopefully by the time I see you next, we will have progressed even more, and we'll start to see our borders expand in every single direction. If you guys are enjoying this series, then make sure you leave a like, because it makes a world of difference to the channel, and I'll be forever thankful. If you are enjoying this series even more than that, then make sure you subscribe so you never miss out on a new video, on a new Supremacy 1914 release. And if you've got any more ideas for more content that you want to see in the future, then make sure you leave a comment below. Thank you so very much for watching once again. On behalf of the Great Imperial Council Coalition, we'll see you all, generals, on the battlefield very, very soon.